Okay, so I've been drying this, I think this is rosemary, yeah, for like months now. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just peel all of the little rosemary leaves off, and I'm putting them on this paper plate so it doesn't get all over my counter. And then I'm going to store them in this clean glass jar. This is one that I will not be canning with because it had peaches in it, and you can't re-can with these. So I save these glass jars to use for things like this, and then I will just throw the stems outside and they'll break down and everything, but they're pretty dry. So I had a bunch of this already dried out and saved in a glass jar, but I ended up putting it on our fire that we had a few weeks ago because rosemary is supposed to keep bugs away, and I don't know if it helped or not, no idea. What I do know is that it was so dry, it burned up extremely quickly, but it smelled good, so that's what I'm doing here. It does smell very good. Okay, so garden update. Right now I'm watering everything except for my tomatoes and peppers. These are my blueberries and they're looking a little dried up. So I'm trying to give them a lot of really good water. And that right there, that dark spot is banana peel, and I have another one up there. Figured it would just give the soil some nutrients. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I have some strawberries I need to harvest and a couple of things I think I'm going to go ahead and like change this weekend. I do have some gardening work to do this weekend, like some of these weeds through here. I'm just going to trim them down. I'm not necessarily going to uproot them because I would like the roots to stay in the soil. And if I till up, new information I learned through some podcasts I've been listening to, is if I till up the soil or even like pull these weed roots up, it will expose the seeds from the weeds and they will just like multiply. So not going to do that. Like I'm not going to pull them up. I'm not going to till the ground. And I know me watering over them is just going to make them grow. So it's just something like right now for the situation that we have, I'm just going to have to like be mindful of, and I'm going to have to go through and just weed these areas more than I would like, but it is what it is. Good. It's a good workout. I do think like through this area right in here, like where I'm watering right now, I'm going to, once I cut everything down, I think I'm going to lay down some cardboard boxes and just water them really good, let them like break down into the soil. And then me and Kason have been talking about possibly mulching back here, like getting some of that free mulch from, you can get free mulch from one of your local arborists and they'll deliver it to you, and it's going to be some work to get it back here because I think they just kind of like dump it in the driveway or in your front yard. I'm not really sure. But I think that it'll be really good for the soil back here because I don't know if you can tell, it almost looks like a desert. Like part of our backyard looks that way too, and we're actually getting that sodded this week. When you're listening to this, it would be Friday of this week, which is today's 18th, the 20th. And so that's going to help our backyard situation. Hopefully we'll get a sprinkler and all that. But back here, stuff is growing, but it just is so dry. Like the ground is so dry. So, and back there, I just need to go through and kind of trim some stuff down. I would like to get to those wild blackberries back there. And so I got to figure out a situation for that. And I also just noticed something up on my hill. I don't know if you can tell. Right there, those little white spots. Those look like snake eggs. And we live near water, so we need to be very careful out here. I need to let Kason know that, just so that y'all know. We actually breed ball pythons, which are non-venomous snakes. So me and Kason have learned a lot about reptiles over the last like 4 years. We really started getting into the breeding more recently in the last year and a half, something like that, since we moved into our house. But that's why we know that. We also play disc golf and we see those eggs because where we play disc golf a lot of times it's around water, and so we have seen that while we have been playing disc golf and stuff. So we know that what snakes, how they bury in the ground or nest in the ground. We try to be very mindful about the nature that's around us as well, and very cautious because this is their home too. Now, does that mean that I want copperheads and water moccasins and king snake? Well, king snakes are actually good for your environment, or any of those things around super close to me? Absolutely not. Definitely don't want that. But it is what it is. I mean, God put them here. I mean, we just got to learn to live in the same environment, and just be careful around things like that. But I do need to let him know that I am seeing those things. So I wanted to update you guys on what's going on. I feel like I just updated you, but I feel like a lot's happened since then. So I moved this lettuce pot. That's arugula, and there's lots of gnats out here right now. And then that's a lettuce pot. And I've moved them over here on this side of our shed because it's partial sun. It's not complete full sun. And these flowers also needed some partial sun. So I'm hoping that we are going to be getting some actual flowers out of this soon. Hopefully. But definitely flowers popping up in those baskets. Super cool. This is lavender, and I learned something new. Again, been learning a lot this week. That lavender likes it dry. So no wonder it liked my ground soil last year, and it did fairly well because it's so dry. Well, I've been watering it like crazy every time I water everything else, and that could be why it's not growing. So I'm gonna try to keep that as dry as possible, see what happens. If nothing happens, I'll dump it, or I won't dump it out, but I'll replant something. So over here really quick, we got my potatoes, and you can see the potato, but it is actually, these are sprouting. These are sprouting. Sweet potatoes are looking fabulous. There are some sprouts over here as well. Garlic's still doing great. Onions are doing something. And then that black beauty eggplant, I am just going to pull up those little sprouts that are in there, and I'm gonna plant something else in there. I would like something that will reproduce fairly quickly. I can see a squirrel in my neighbor's backyard eating birdseed. That is so funny. These green onions, I'm gonna keep them. I mean, they're not doing like super great. I may plant some more in there soon, this weekend or something like that. Okay, these sugar snap peas are doing just phenomenal. I'm gonna get some more trellises so that these guys can grow, and maybe get a couple of harvests out of these. Once these are done harvesting, I'm going to plant something else here. Not quite sure what, but these blooms are absolutely beautiful. Like, these just look good in your garden. And so I think next year, another thing I'm going to do is try to plant them. I don't know if I'll plant them in the same bed, but almost get like a cow panel or something, or maybe like try to get them as close as possible to our fence so they can grow up the fence, because they love to climb. And I also realized that I put these trellises, or these like cages, in upside down, but it is what it is. They're loving it. I mean, they're attaching to it. And I don't know if you can see, but we got some little, look, sugar snap pea right there. I need to take some pictures after this as well. Oh, look, there's another one. So this is super cool. So these are going to come in pretty quickly, it seems like. Okay, my cucumbers, struggling. I am not 100% sure that these are going to work out. So the last 2 years I've tried to grow cucumbers, and it just has not been great. Well, my cucumbers need partial sun. This is a spot in my yard. It is direct sunlight all day long. And that just may not have been the best option. So if these die off, it'll be fine. I mean, it is what it is. I can buy some cucumbers from a local farmer's market. I learned something new. I'm going to chart it in my gardening planner, which is something that I would like to show y'all too. And so just be on the lookout for that. But these cucumbers just are struggling, and it is what it is. You know, we'll try again next year and maybe plant earlier, maybe do some plant starts. I'm not sure. Okay, so these flowers seem to be just kind of trucking along, and these bush beans are looking pretty good too. We got some little beans coming up on there. I'm excited to see what those turn out like. These are some tomatoes. I learned some new things about some tomatoes this week, and these are looking so good. We got a cluster right here. And so I kind of like try to get them as close to the fence as possible so that they can have some support. I am just going to get like a tomato cage, or a cage to put around them so that they have something to support them. I'm going to get some more of those things this weekend. Okay. So, and if you're watching this, it's probably like last weekend, even though I keep saying this weekend, it'll actually be the weekend before this video goes live. So next, something I'm very excited about. So this, I'm about to harvest some of these strawberries, and these are just looking absolutely beautiful. And I have harvested a bunch so far. So I'm just gonna pick these off. Some of them are not 100% ready yet, but these look good. Oops, I pulled that whole stem off. That's probably not a good thing, but it's okay. It happens. Okay, and then I'm gonna get this one and this one. And they're probably not ready, 100% ready yet, because they're not coming off the stem super easy, but they still taste good. Yeah, I'm pulling these stems off, so some of these I may just save. Like, leave them on here, let them get a little bit. Those all definitely need to be pinker. This one looks good though. Some of these are still pink and not bright red, so those are gonna stay, but that is awesome. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8. That's cool. And my hands are dirty now, but it's fine. Over here, these squash plants are doing pretty good too. They're getting taller. I'm really excited about that. This is that patty pan or scallop squash. Over here, I planted some different things. There are some cucumbers. It looks like they're popping up. Back there, those are rainbow carrots, the little fluffy ones. I did cut that cauliflower off. It was bolting. So I left the root in the ground and I just threw the top over there. It'll break down eventually. And then I planted some nasturtiums over here, which are looking really, really good. And so there's that. We'll see how these cucumbers do. We're not sure. You know, it's trial and error. That's what the fun part about gardening. So these Anaheim chili peppers, they're still at the sprout phase. I'm going to leave them. This is going to be an experiment. I want to see what happens. Are they going to get bigger? Are they going to produce chilies? I don't know. So that's where we're at with that. These are bush beans or provider beans, and they're doing all right. Something has eaten this one, but I see some little beans on here, so we'll see. And then my tomatoes and peppers, and they're, like I've said to you guys before, all kinds of tomatoes and peppers. I'm letting the soil dry out a little bit. I think I watered it too much for a few days in a row, and it just needed to dry out. But as you can see, we have some tomatoes right through there and here, right in through there. It looks like we're dealing with some sort of fungus down there, but you know, we'll just have to watch it and see what happens. These carrots are looking great. Those are looking good. There's a habanero pepper back there. There's some tomatoes on this plant, and there's a tiny little chili pepper on this plant. So it's getting there. And there's another pepper on that plant. I don't know if you can see that. And some more in there. Yes. And then my tomatillos. These guys are just doing so good so far. I'm so excited about those. And some more peppers coming in. Sorry about my fingers in the viewfinder or in the view. And then my basil is looking pretty good too. It's getting there. It's getting there. So yeah, everything's just growing. Over here, these squash plants are looking great. They're a little yellow. The baby leaves are a little yellow. So I don't know. Should I leave them and not water them so much? I'm not sure. But my corn is also looking pretty good. It's getting really, really tall. My dill is not looking great, but I heard that dill likes early spring and then late fall. Really, I'm gonna plant some more dill. I may do it like as an indoor plant. I'm not sure yet, but the dill was an experiment. I've never grown dill before, and I really just wanted it to support the growth of the squash and the corn. And so that's what it's doing. And everything is looking pretty good so far. Like I said, there's some yellowing. I think that may be from overwatering, because the soil, well, down in there, it's not like super moist. So I'm gonna let it dry out. I may not water it tomorrow, and I think it's supposed to rain this weekend, so we will see. And then there's some more peppers over here. These are my hot banana peppers, and there's some growing. Like there's one right there, and there's some more. Oh, there's another big one right there. And so those are doing good too. I had a lot of success with
peppers last year. I just did a few and I had a lot of success with those. So this apple tree is doing something. I'm not 100% sure what's happening with this apple tree. I think that this was like almost like a false bloom. I need to get something to kind of stake it up and support it. Probably will do that this weekend. Let me come over here. Now this apple tree, I trimmed these bottom branches to send more nutrients up to these top branches, and like I said, we will see what happens. It's better to have these things in your yard and in your garden than to not have them. So yes, so I got to be really careful back here because that's those snake eggs over there. So I just got to be really careful, you know, climbing into all these things, all of these weeds and stuff. And that's a little tree that we cut down, and I decided it's going to grow back. So some beautiful weeds. So I am not like, I don't like weeds, obviously, in the areas that I'm going to be for a long period of time, or like if I have stuff growing, don't necessarily like weeds. But in general, like we have a bunch of weeds back there. They help with pollinators, they help with birds, they help with like so many good things, and I am perfectly okay with that, because the more natural the environment, the better your soil, the better your health, the better, you know, the environment. I mean, everything. So I am perfectly okay with having weeds around as long as I don't have to walk through them every day. Okay, some more updates. My peach tree. These peaches are growing, but I have not seen new fruit being produced. I'm going to finally plant this peach tree in the ground this weekend. Or like I told you guys before, it will be the weekend after I post this. And then I also got this white hydrangea bush, and I planted it on this side of my house. I haven't planted any flowers on that side of my house yet, so I wanted to plant that. And it was, I just got it at Publix for like Mother's Day, I think. I'm gonna go grab these strawberries, and then we will go turn off the water, and I will show you guys my flowers in my front and my side yard, and then I need to go eat dinner. I already told Kason he could eat. Hopefully he ate without me, because I have been working out and doing all kinds of stuff. Sorry about the dog barking. It's not my dog. My dog listens to me for the most part. Okay, let's go check this out. And I don't know, another thing on those snake eggs is they were huge. Like, those are some big baby snakes, so that's kind of scary. Okay, these rose bushes have just been absolutely gorgeous. And we have more buds on this one. And I've actually cut off 3 roses and then put them inside of my house. And they were beautiful, but they have died. So I threw them outside so they could decompose outside. My hydrangeas have buds on them. Oh my goodness. This is the first time I'm seeing that little hydrangea right there, and it's green, so I'm hoping that's gonna be purple. Y'all, these roses are absolutely beautiful. They look like they're glowing, and I call these my princess roses, or like belle roses, because I don't know what they're exactly called off the top of my head, but they look, I don't know, they remind me of Beauty and the Beast, and they're just beautiful. I just can't, y'all, this is just absolutely gorgeous. And honestly, I'm proud of myself. I'm not even gonna lie. Hydrangea over here is doing good. Hydrangea over here is doing good. That one in the middle, definitely dead. I cut the limbs down. I'm gonna leave the root in there to break down and add some nutrients to the soil. This rose I am reviving, and it is looking a lot better than it was whenever I first put it in the ground. My Rose of Sharon is getting taller. I cannot wait until I start seeing, do I see little buds on there? Not yet, but hopefully this year, hopefully, that'd be cool. And then I did have one beautiful rose on this one, but it died, it fell off and died. So I'm hoping I get some more buds on this rose this year. And I think I will, because that looks like a really good, healthy rose plant. So that's all I got for y'all right now. I need to weed some things in my yard and clean some things up and go get some more stuff. I have 2 running plants that I need to plant this weekend. Hey. I also noticed we have some blooms on these cucumbers, and we have some blooms over on our squash plants too. So there's a bloom right there. There's some blooms coming in over there. And so yeah, so some blooms popping up. Everything is looking all right. So just harvested some strawberries, and we just got back from the farmer's market, so I will show y'all what we got from there. But I am looking at these sugar snap peas, and I think that these are ready to come off. So I'm about to get some of these, and this is awesome. I'm so excited. I'm gonna eat them for a snack. But we got sod in the rest of our backyard, and they even put some sod over here, so now it's not like this weird desert wasteland back here. But yes, I wanted to show you guys this, and I'm going to look through and see if there's anything else I can harvest. So strawberries and sugar snap peas is what I'm harvesting today. And I replanted something in there. I don't remember what. Probably should have labeled it. And then I also replanted some stuff in the 2 containers over here that I had pepper sprouts in. Those pepper sprouts weren't going to do anything this summer, so I decided to plant something else in there. And honestly, not going to lie, I can't remember what I planted. So it is what it is. So we got sod on the side yard too up to that point. We got some tomatoes growing in here and some peppers. So hopefully soon we'll be able to harvest some of that stuff. Some of these little Thai chili peppers over here. There's one like right there. Yes, so everything is looking good. These tomatoes are trying to find the ground. I'm going to get trellises for them today. These aren't looking so hot, so we'll just see how they turn out. You know, it's been so dry here in Georgia. It hasn't rained as much as it normally does. Okay, but these hot bananas look so good. And I don't know if they're ready yet though. But they're just coming in. So yeah, that's a garden update, some grass updates. Okay, so these potatoes are sprouting so nicely. I'm actually going to get more soil this weekend to cover them up so they can keep on growing. And these are those like little like tiny round tomatoes. I don't know what they're called. And these are looking absolutely great too. Okay, so I am in here watering my houseplants, and I just wanted to take a second and show you guys, like, this plant has grown so much. I will try to insert a picture of what it looked like whenever I first bought it, but it has so many more leaves, so much new growth. Like this one just unrolled, and this leaf is my favorite. Is that not just so pretty? This one is the biggest. This one and this one are about the same size. But so this is my fiddle leaf fig propagation. Move that out of the way. And I propagated 2, and I now have an avocado that will hopefully be big enough to produce fruit in about 30 years. But this is my fiddle leaf fig propagation. So this was, I did both of these at the same time, but this one actually produced roots first, and they've gotten so much bigger. So I'm gonna leave this in the water and let those roots keep growing. I want those roots to be nice and big before I plant it in a pot, and it seems like it's growing pretty quickly. And then, so last week I checked it, and that's when I noticed that there was like one tiny little root. So when I first checked that one, which I don't think this one's gonna grow, but when I first checked that one, it had a little tiny root, it was a little bit bigger than this, but very similar to this. And this one didn't have anything. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just keep waiting. And it is worth it because now that one has a little baby root.
And then that one is starting to get really big roots. So this is the perfect area, I feel like, for this. And I don't know if this is going to get roots because it looks very dark on the ends. But I'm going to put it back in the water anyway and just see what happens. But this is the perfect area for these plants because they need just enough sunlight. And I have a lot of windows up here. So I keep this one like slightly, these shades slightly open so the sun can hit these just barely. But a lot of sun comes in through that window right there because the way that the sun falls around our house is almost like from the right side to the left side, not front to back. So sun hits on this side of the house equally to the other side of the house. So I thought this was the perfect place. I want to get another plant to go right here. I want another indoor plant to go downstairs. If I could get more indoor plants to even go like on the bottom right there, and I'll move those pictures. I mean, y'all know I love plants, gardening, all the things. I have a thing to like hang a plant from the ceiling, but I think I'm going to do that in the library. I'll have to talk to Kason about that, but so this is where I'm at. I'm super excited about this though. It makes me so happy. And then this, you know, it'll take 45,000 years before this starts producing roots, but this is actually not like a Hass avocado. This is one of those like really big ones, like really big avocados. Okay, and then I wanted to show you guys this. It is Fuel the Garden and House of Botanicals. So you fill it up and there's no top to it. So that's one thing I'm kind of like, eh. And you can either pour it out the spout or you can use it to spray. And it's very important to spray the leaves of your houseplants. This is also a houseplant. I don't remember what this is called. I need to look it up. I have had this plant for almost 4 years, maybe three years, but like it just keeps producing new growth. And I got these little sticky things off Amazon to help with the gnats, and they help so well, and it's not toxic to the plant or to the people in your home, your animals or anything. And speaking of animals, I do have a dog, and she does not bother these plants. Like at first, she would come over here and sniff. When we had the puppy, she definitely wanted to sniff and eat and do all that. But Tonks doesn't. So I may even propagate more of these bottom leaves and send some of the growth up top. I don't know. I kind of like how it fills out the bottom. We got a little bit of something right there. I need to wipe that off. See if it'll come off. I also need to put some more potting soil in here because these roots are aerial roots. And so aerial root, well, these are actually not aerial roots. These are the base roots. But if I don't fill this up, with more soil, the plant will start producing aerial roots, which that's not a bad thing, but it just means that the plant needs more support. So I actually need to put more soil in here, which I have not done since, well, I don't think I've done it at all. I think that I bought it in this container and it's just been in this container. So I definitely need to get more for that one. I can probably put a little bit more in there, and then I'll just save whatever's left for when I pot these up when those are ready. And like I said, my little avocado baby is gonna take 10,000 years, but I will just treat it like an indoor plant and leave it in a lot of sunlight, and it's gonna wanna be warm. Just like a lemon tree. I'm getting I think 1 or 2, I don't remember, lemon trees from my friend's boyfriend's mom or something. And I'll have to bring the lemon trees inside during the cooler fall months and the winter months. I'm also not sure if those will produce fruit yet, but it's still gonna be like really cool to have those. I tried to grow a lemon tree last year, 2 years ago, and I had this little baby sprout, and then it died in the cold, and I just didn't care enough back then to like try to keep it alive. So hopefully with these, they will be nice and pretty, and I can use them like houseplants.
But yes, this is my update on my monstera, my fiddle, my avocado. I need to put this like down here. And that is a clock from my grandmother and my grandfather. And I got it whenever my grandmother passed away last September. And I love it. It's so beautiful, isn't it? I'm acting like y'all can respond to me. But anyway, oh, I'm just so excited. I want another fiddle leaf. I want all the plants. Don't you guys? Yeah. Okay, so this is my Click and Grow. And these are strawberries, and these are strawberries, and this is mint. So this has not sprouted yet, but I just planted it like last week or week before last. I just added my extension to the light. And so it's very easy. You literally just pull this up. You pull this up. And then this middle piece goes down in there. And then the cord fits in there like that. And then this is the light part at the top. And so that part comes out. So this top part was originally attached down here. And the top part is what is connected to the plug. And that's where the lights come on. And the light is on a timer. So my strawberries are doing really well, but I wanted to update you guys because my strawberries have grown a lot since I showed y'all last. So, so far. And because they're grown so much, I had to add my extension on my light. And so, yes, so this is my Click and Grow. I do have an affiliate code, so I do earn a little bit of commission, but you guys can get 10% off with my code Williamson10. I think last time I said Williamson 20, and it's Williamson10, and you can get 10% off your own Click and Grow. And so it comes in multiple sizes. So I have the 3 one, the Smart Garden 3. They have a Smart Garden 9. They have a Smart Garden 27, Smart Garden 25 that's coming out. That is a new one. It's like this big one. It's nice and stackable. You can buy different pods. You can buy pods that already have seeds in them. You can buy pods that you can put your own seeds in. And so once again, if you didn't see my last video, I'll go ahead and tell you guys here. This is where you pour the water in. So this is the water level. And this floats. So as this sinks down, and I'm pushing it down right now, but as this sinks down, because you see how it's floating, that will tell you that the water is low. So I actually just poured some water in there and now it's floating to the top. That's how you know that you're good. You don't want to overfill it. When I poured the water, I poured a little too much. And so there's just like a little bit around here, but that's okay. But yes, so one thing I am dealing with, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, is there's some algae in there. I need to look at some of their videos. They have tons and tons of videos online about how to, like when to add your light extension, what pods do what to do whenever they start sprouting and growing really big, how to transplant them. Literally, like, they have so many videos about everything. So I'm going to go on there and I'm going to do some research on what's going on with the algae. Once this mint sprouts, I will take the dome off so it can get more air and light. So another thing is, because I don't have natural pollinators in my house, and I talked about this last time as well, but I go by and I just rub the leaves of the plant and I do those like over each other. So they'll pollinate each other and they'll just grow. So that's pretty cool. But yes, I wanted to show you guys this again and check it out. And my code is Williamson10. You can get 10% off at Click and Grow. That link will be in the description of my video. I also have that link on my Instagram. Follow me over on Instagram. And I talk about all kinds of stuff over there. Okay, so we went to the farmer's market today and we got some really good stuff. But first, the stuff that's not pictured, I already put in the freezer. And we got 5 pounds of ground beef from a local farmer. It's grass-fed. And then we also got 2 New York strips from that same farmer. So that stuff's already in the freezer. But we got some squash, a head of broccoli. This is some romaine lettuce. This is a spring mix lettuce, some kale. And then I got some apple mint and this little bushel of lavender. That's absolutely beautiful. It smells so good. And then we got some tomatoes. This bag is the Norwex like fruit and produce, or the produce bags, and it comes with 3 of them, so I can link that down below as well. And then we got some peaches. This whole bag is filled with peaches. We got the peaches and the tomatoes from the same person. Then Kason wanted some hot salsa. So this is the Reaper Garden Salsa, and it's Georgia grown. And from that same place, I got some spicy pickled okra. I love pickled okra. And then we also got from that same place cheesy potato shepherd's pie. That sounds absolutely amazing. And everything is like locally grown. So those are the ingredients from the same people who made the salsa and the pickled okra. So then I got me some apple butter because I love apple butter on toast. And then we tried this Pellegrino's homemade marinara salsa, and it was so good. And from that same place, we got a homemade pizza. So we're gonna put this in the fridge. This is what we're gonna eat for dinner tonight. And then while we were there, first thing this morning, we got some breakfast. And so this was my breakfast bowl, and it's grits and eggs, cheese and bacon. And I didn't finish it because me and Kason ended up sharing the breakfast burrito. And then we also I got a chai tea latte, and he got some lemonade, which is still so good. So yeah, that's what we got from the farmer's market today. Okay, I wanted to show you all the garden planters that I'm using, or the one that I've started using, and then the new one that I got. So this is the Simple Garden Planner, and I just printed it out, and it's from the Beginner Gardener. And so it's front and back, and then there's a table of contents. So it gives you all of this stuff, how to use the planner, garden goals, ideas, crops, different layout pages, garden logs, harvest freezer and canning log. And I actually need to update this. So my garden goals, so this is section 1, the plan, my garden goals, ideas, my crops. These are just the things that I knew that I wanted to absolutely grow this year. Same over here. So these are the minors. So that one over here said majors. This is minors, and then rookies. And since it's my first year, I just put almost everything. Different crops, and then the quantity, which I obviously did not fill out, and I need to go back and do that. Same here. Okay, so how many to plant, when to plant. So you list the same crops, and then when you plant them, things I needed to buy for the year. My seed inventory, I obviously have not filled this out. And then you can do like to do in each month. And so we're in May still. And so I haven't filled some of this out because I'm not sure yet. Different notes on things I want to change, things I want to add, all that kind of stuff. So this is the second part. It's quick reference, so it's spacing, more quick reference, which I use this a lot whenever I go out to plant. This is the companion planting guide. This is different layouts, more layouts. And so you can use all kinds. You can do this as many times as you want. Then there's a different size for raised beds. And it's the same throughout these next few pages. So different size for different raised beds. This is the garden log by plant. I need to update this as well. And it just keeps going. Garden log by date. Okay, and so section 3, harvest. So harvest log, which I need to update this. I've been harvesting sugar snap peas and strawberries. And I've been taking pictures so I can remember, because I don't always come back and write stuff in right after I do it. And then freezer log, I haven't done anything with that yet, or canning log, I haven't done anything for that yet either, but my tomatoes and peppers are coming in, so hopefully I can do some stuff with that soon. More notes, recap things that I need to do for next season, preparing for next season, and just different, that's a few different pages for that. Research and notes, more notes, and this is where I probably need to be writing my research for all the books I read, videos I watch, things like that. But I've just really put them in my phone, but I like to have a physical copy, and then another quick reference in the back. And then so I just put all this in a binder. And this is the Homestead and Chill Garden Planning Toolkit, and so I kind of read through this before I started gardening. And then this is like when to plant. It's like a calendar by your zone. Planting guide again. My garden journal. I have not filled this out. I need to go back and do that. Another, like your hardiness zone map. It's good to have one of these. This was the first plot I did. No, these are her examples. These are her examples, but I did one. Okay, so here's the first one. And I can go back and update this because things are a little bit different if I wanted to. Notes, ideas on things I wanted to do. This is all I did at the beginning of the season. And then some beginner's garden, some raised bed soil options. So these are just some of her guides that she has talked about all through here. It's good to have all this information in one place. So, and there's just a bunch of different things that I try to keep in here. Choosing the garden site. So blueberry planting workbook, which I planted blueberries this year. I probably need to go back and read through this. I did not test my soil. Oh well. But it's good to have all of these things. This is the UGA, Carroll County, or just the UGA extension, whatever. And so you can find this online, really, with anybody, with any campus or anything, or any extension at UGA. And so they have an agricultural division, and they have all that stuff on there. This is the beginner's gardener, or beginner's garden before you sow, quick reference. Lots of good information here. Transplanting crops, seed starting indoors, heirloom versus hybrid seeds. I need to read a little bit more into that before I plant next year, or even for like my fall crops. Okay, and then this is the Garden Therapy Get Growing, the expert seed starting for the DIY gardener. So I did not start any of my own seeds this year, which is fine. I may not even start my own seeds next year. I don't know. And so it just seed starting 101, lots of good information in here. It tells you the equipment and the supplies, different projects. More resources in the back. Okay, this is the beginner's garden garlic planting cheat sheet, tomato diseases. It's good to have this stuff in here if you're curious, or if you see some disease on your tomatoes. And me and the beginner's garden, I think her name is Jill, we live in the same zone. Different states, but same zone. So tomato cages, like what you should do, propagating, how to build trellis for beans and peas, 15 mistakes for first-time gardeners, just how to avoid them. pest control, planting too early. There's different stuff in that one. I believe that is it. Oh, for this, we will see. Hold on one second. Yeah. Oh, and then I have this laminated, and it's vegetable gardening in Georgia. And I have this one laminated and that one laminated so I could carry them outside with me so they don't get all dirty and everything. And so I just put them in this binder. I think it's a 1-inch binder, and it worked fine. Printed those off myself. I keep a little notebook in here where I make notes. I need to probably take that out there with me more. I need to put it with my gardening stuff. And then I just have a seed catalog in there as well. So this is the one that I'm using right now, but I bought a new one that I thought would be really cool for maybe like printing out some pictures and things like that for this year. And it's so pretty. It's the Simplified Garden Journal. And so obviously you can like fill it in with your information. There's stickers, harvest, planting, fertilizer. So it reminds you when to fertilize, prune, and harvest and water your plants. There's a little note on the concept of this planner, how to use and plan, or how to use this planner and how to plan your garden. There are notes, so what worked last year, what didn't work, ideas and routines. And then this says your goals. So then you have your zones over here, and then your plant wish list. You have your different summer, or your different seasons, summer, spring, fall, winter, and what you would like to plant during that. Then your journal, so where to buy, what item you want to get. This is your different plant names, and it looks like, did you plant them indoors, start them indoors, direct seed, buy plant, number of plants, so on and so forth. This looks like it is, so your planting timeline, it tells you to work backwards. And then some grids for your garden layout. And all these pages are serrated, so you can take them out of this if you want to. You won't be able to put them back in, but you definitely can take them out. This is your weekly routine and your garden wins. On this side, garden wins. On the other side, weekly routine. Garden simplicity tips, and then some notes, and then your actual planner. And it's undated, and so you can pick when you want to start this. And then your to-dos and your notes. More notes. More notes. Next month. And so it goes on and on like that all the way to the back. And for some reason, the very last page in here is like this hard cardstock, and it's almost got like this waxy feel to it. The front and back covers are beautiful, but they're like this hard plastic. So like they can't get messed up too bad. But look how pretty all of this is. So I'm going to start using this one, and I wanted to show it to you guys empty before I started filling it in. I am still reading The Regenerative Garden, and I think the next book I'm going to read is the, oh, hold on, I have it right here. I'll show you guys. I have it right here. The Mini Farming Self-Sufficiency book by Brett L. Markham. And then I also have this Joy of Gardening book I got from Kaysen's grandparents. And so that has some really old school stuff in there, which is really good information. So yeah, that is all I have right now, and those are my gardening planners and books. I also ordered some dahlia tubers
from Muddy Acres Flower Farm, and she sent me all of these cute little stickers, and they're waterproof, so I can put them on my water bottles. So the dahlia tubers are downstairs and we are upstairs, but I can't wait to plant those, and I will video that as well.